Greetings, Eric Bakker, naturopath and author of Candida Crusher. Thank you for tuning into my video today. Today I'd like to talk to you about how to actually make kefir as a fermented food. It's a very simple process. I would recommend that you get hold of a good starter culture. So you may want to approach your health food shop or naturopath. You'll need to approach somebody first to find a good source of kefir. You can get them sometimes mail order, but a very good health food shop in your region should be able to sell you some good kefir grains. Be careful of these cheap kefir startup kits because sometimes the quality of the kefir grains is not that good, and you may only be able to use them half a dozen times before they run out of power and don't really make a viable kefir fermented product anymore. And you'll soon know that after you've made this fermented food about a dozen or 2 dozen times with the same grains to see if it still has the same sour taste. If it starts losing that or gets quite runny and thin, even though you've left this brew for several days, it's not a very good culture anymore. You'll throw it out and start again with some new grains. So you'll probably use about 2 to 3 tablespoons. Around about 2.5 tablespoons is sufficient quantity of kefir grains to use per litre of cow's milk. I'd recommend you try and get hold of some raw cow's milk and make sure it's unpasteurized, unhomogenized, and have it at room temperature, and add about 2 to 2.5 tablespoons of the kefir grains into this raw cow's milk. Give it a gentle stir with a wooden utensil. I prefer to use a wooden spoon over plastic or metals. You particularly want to keep away from some metals like aluminium or copper or brass. They may actually taint this brew, whether it's yogurt or kefir. These sour and lactic acid rich cultures you need to be cautious what you actually brew them in and stir them with. So glass is generally good. Stainless steel, if it's high grade, is my preferred source, or a good wooden spoon. Make sure the glass or container you use is scrupulously clean, and sterilize it with boiling water before you put the milk in there and add the kefir grains. So usually it's a 3-step process. It's simple. You get the milk, you put the kefir grains in, you stir the mixture, keep it at room temperature for anywhere up to 2 days, and after 2 days it gets quite sour. I quite like a sour kefir. You may like it a bit sweeter. Usually 24 to 48 hours is sufficient, and then strain it in a colander. So make sure you strain it properly and get the kefir grains out, which you can reuse again and again and again. And then you're left basically with the liquid, which you will keep in a vessel in the refrigerator for another day or two to ripen or mature a bit, and consume that. And then you make another batch, and so the cycle continues. You can keep doing this for years with a good quality kefir. So that's the way to make kefir and store it and consume it. So I'd like you to try that at home and make this particular brew. And when you get adventurous with cow's milk, you may want to move on and try coconut kefir, made from fresh coconut juice. It's amazing, and you're going to get the benefit of having the caprylic acid and the capric acid, which is very antifungal in this coconut kefir, which I think is probably really the heart and soul of the best fermented Candida treatment, was the coconut kefir, which I'll cover in another video. Have a look at my book Candida Crusher. You'll find a big section in my book on nutrition, and also a large amount of information on cultured and fermented foods in that book. And subscribe to my channel, my Candida Crusher channel, because you'll learn all about the new videos coming up. Then you'll be the first to find out. Thanks for your time.